Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Sunday Night Football postgame show and Monday Night Football update show. We'll recap the Sunday night game. We'll get to Monday Night Football Week 10. We'll talk about it all. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football Week 10 trivia question. And it's a Rams trivia question. Which Rams defensive end coined the term sack? I'll have the answer later on the podcast. Well, right now, we're going to recap the Sunday night game. Nothing was going right for Detroit's Jared Goff on Sunday night against the Houston Texans. The 9-year veteran threw a career-high 5 interceptions through three quarters, and the Lions trailed by 10 points. Instead of wallowing in his mistakes, Goff rallied the Lions to an improbable 26-23 win that was capped by a 52-yard field goal by Jake Bates as time expired. And I had some unfortunate things early, but I've been through a whole lot worse than that, Goff said, excuse me. Mentally, I've been to the bottom. Some unlucky plays aren't going to throw me off my game. The Lions improved to 8-1 for the first time since 1954 with their 7th straight victory overall and 5th in a row on the road. That was a hard-fought game, Detroit coach Dan Campbell said. We had to fight our way back in there. I'm proud of the guys. There's things we've got to clean up, but our guys wouldn't go away. They just wouldn't go away. Detroit trailed 23-7 at halftime after Goff threw 3 interceptions in the first 2 quarters. He threw 2 more picks in the third. Nonetheless, the Lions scored 16 straight times to tie it with about 5 minutes to go on a Bates 58-yard field goal. I just don't deserve this, Bates said. I was a soccer player growing up. I idolized football players in the NFL, and just to be here is surreal. I'm still pinching myself. The Texans, who fell to 6-4, had a chance to take the lead with just under 2 minutes left, but Kamai Fairbairn's 58-yard field goal try was wide left. We didn't make the plays to win the game, and to win games, guys have to step up, and make plays, and that's not happening, Houston coach DeMeco Ryans said. Lions became the first team to win when throwing 5 or more interceptions in Atlanta since Atlanta beat Arizona 23-19 on November 18th, 2012, when Matt Ryan was picked off 5 times. David Montgomery ran for a 3-yard touchdown early in the third, but his run on the 2-point conversion try was stopped, leaving the Lions down 23-13. A 9-yard TD reception by Amon-Ra St. Brown got Detroit within 3, 23-20 early in the fourth quarter. Goff threw for 240 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Jahmyr Gibbs ran for 71 yards. C.J. Stroud threw for 232 yards and a touchdown, but he threw 2 interceptions in the second half as the Texans were shut out after the break to lose for the 3rd time in 4 games. I blame this game on me, Stroud said. I've got to be better in those moments when the defense is getting turnovers like they did. We've got to be able to reward them with points. Goff's 5 picks were the most by any NFL player since Jameis Winston threw for 5 on October 13th, 2019 for Tampa Bay against Carolina. Goff hadn't thrown, an interception in 5 games and entered Sunday with just 4 all season. His previous career high was 4 in a loss to Chicago while with the Rams on December 9, 2018. There's just these little circumstances that come into play. So for me, I'm not going to tell him anything. Campbell said, "These weren't ill-advised throws. It just wasn't our day." Uh, Rookie Kamari Lassiter led the Texans with 2 interceptions as they set a franchise record for picks. Jimmy Ward intercepted Golf on Detroit's first drive on a ball that was hit by Jalen Petier to give Houston the ball at the Detroit 33. The Texans made it 7-zip when Joe Mixon ran 8 yards for a touchdown. A 34-yard field goal by Fairburn extended the lead to 10-0 with about 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Detroit cut the lead to 10-7 on a touchdown reception by Sam Laporta. The Texans were up by 6 when Danico Autry hit Goff's arm as he threw, and the ball fell into the hands of Henry 2020 to give Houston possession at the Detroit 36. But the Texans couldn't move the ball after that and set up for Fairburn's 29-yard field goal. That made it 16-7 with about 4 minutes left in the first half. Houston extended the lead to 23-7 when Stroud found John McTeach, Mechie, the third for a 15-yard touchdown with 16 seconds left in the second quarter. It was the first career touchdown for McGee, who missed his entire rookie season in 2022 undergoing treatment for leukemia. Golf threw his third interception when Lassiter picked off his desperation throw on the last play of the first half. Davis intercepted Stroud on the first play of the second half, but Lassiter grabbed his second interception of the game 3 plays later after Montgomery's touchdown. Detroit's Colton Davis III leapt in front of Tank Dell in the end zone for its second interception. Golf threw his fifth pick 2 plays later, but the Texans couldn't capitalize and were forced to punt. The Lions' Laporta injured his AC joint in one of his shoulders, but Campbell said he doesn't know how significant of an injury it is. The Texans' defensive end, Will Anderson Jr., missed the game with an ankle injury. Wide receiver Nico Collins didn't play after being activated from injured reserve Saturday. Lassiter left in the third quarter with a concussion. Well, the Lions will host Jacksonville at Ford Field next Sunday, and the Texans will be in Big D to take on the Dallas Cowboys next Monday night on Monday Night Football. So Houston will have to regroup to see if they get a victory over the Cowboys. And right now, I have to give the game balls to the Detroit Lions. For passing, Jared Goff, 15 of 30 carries and attempts, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Sam Laporta, 3 receptions, and that's in the receiving, 66 yards, 1 touchdown, and Jahmyr Gibbs in rushing, 19 attempts, 71 yards. Detroit now is 8-1 for the first time since 1954. The Houston Texans fall to 6-4. So Detroit will look to go to 9-1 next week when they play Jacksonville. So we will get to Monday Night Football Week 10 in just a moment. But right now it's time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football Week 10 trivia question, which is a Rams trivia question. As I said, which Rams defensive end coined the term sack? If you said Deacon Jones, you are correct. The term sack was first popularized by Hall of Fame defensive end Deacon Jones in the 1960s, who felt that a sack devastated the offense in the same way that a city was devastated when it was sacked. And I'll have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. Well, it's Monday Night Football Week 10. We have a great AFC NFC matchup for you tonight. The Miami Dolphins and the Los Angeles Rams are battling it out right now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. And it's 10-6. Miami in the third quarter, 5:35 to go. First and goal. The Rams won, and the Dolphins have the ball. The Dolphins are coming off a loss to the Buffalo Bills last week, and the Rams are coming off a 26-20 win overall over the Seattle Seahawks. It was a very low-scoring first half between these two teams. And I'll recap the first half in just a moment. I'm going to read the preview for you. Since I didn't get to do a pregame show, I'm going to read this preview for you as soon as it comes up on there. There we go. Jalen Ramsey and Odell Beckham Jr. were key pieces to the Rams championship puzzle only 3 seasons ago. Just over a year after the Rams raised the Lombardi Trophy, both stars were already gone from Los Angeles. Ramsey was shipped to Miami in early 2023 when the Rams embarked on a franchise reboot. Beckham left even earlier as an injured free agent. He planned to accept a relatively major terms, meager terms offered by the Rams to their midseason acquisition. The Rams didn't want to lose either player, but they were already thinking about how to assemble another championship contender after years of acquiring big-name players and their hefty contracts. Los Angeles parted with 2 current stars to pursue the future. You had to say, okay, who's the core? How many years does that core have together? It's not going to last forever, but when is it best to start trying to engineer a new core? Rams general manager Les Snead said. You're always going to need to bring in younger players on rookie contracts, he added. They grow together. At that point in time, maybe you do use some draft picks to add players that are in their prime to go with other players in their prime. That's probably when it really began. You just knew that. I don't want to say the clock struck midnight, but the core of that team, the senior class, it just doesn't last forever. Ramsey and Beckham have reunited this season with the Dolphins, who are now 2-6, and they'll return to SoFi Stadium to face the Rams, which are doing right now tonight, which are 4-4, on Monday night in a meeting of teams heading in opposite directions. Los Angeles has won 3 in a row with big contributions from players forming the new core of what it hopes will be another title contender with Miami. While Miami has lost 3 straight and 6 of its 7 to cover early severely April season, become with Super Bowl aspirations. Ramsey's shutdown ability, usually at the multi-faced star position, was vital during his 3.5 years with the Rams. He became an All-Pro in 2021, and he made 10 interceptions for LA. I love Jalen. Rams coach Sean McVay said. He knows the respect and the admiration that I have for him as a player. What he meant to this team, there was a lot of tough decisions that were on the horizon for us, uh, as a football team. It didn't have anything to do with us not wanting him here. There was a lot of things that we had to do as a result of previous years. He understood that. Beckham already faced the Rams last season, catching a TD pass in a win for the Baltimore Ravens. Tua Tagovailoa made his first NFL start the previous time Miami faced the Rams back in 2020. On his second snap, he fumbled while getting sacked by Aaron Donald and Michael Brockers, leading to a Los Angeles touchdown. Miami went on to a 28-17 upset victory, although Tagovailoa passed for just 93 yards. That was welcome to the NFL moment, Tagovailoa said Thursday. It was my first pass down, and it was a strip sack. Oh, gosh. Tagovailoa has looked sharp since returning from injured reserve last month, passing for 465 yards and 3 TDs with no interceptions in 2 losses that can be hung on the offense. Defensive tackle, Dolphins left tackle, Taron Armstead recognized that the Rams have always had a great defensive line, but he's happy to not face one person in particular on Monday, and I'm glad that Aaron Donald is gone. Armstead said, of the retired future Hall of Fame defensive lineman. I hope he is enjoying retirement to the fullest. Wish him the best. I had a lot of games against that man. He was really like that. First ballot for sure. Armstead, who has played 5 career games against the Rams and the Dolphins offensive line, have cleared the way for Miami's running backs to rush for more than 140 yards in 4 straight games and have only given up 2 sacks in the past 2 weeks. The Rams' offensive line continues to be in flukes, but it could get a boost from the return of a few key contributors. Center Jonah Jackson is expected to be back after getting hurt in week 2, while guard Steve Avila also has a chance to play his first game since week 1. Backup tackle Joe Noteboom also should be back, and he could fill in for right tackle Rob Havenstein, who is out for at least this game after spraining his ankle last week. Second-year running back Devon Achane tagged along with Miami's receivers in the offseason whenever they had throwing sessions with Tagovailoa to make sure he developed a good chemistry with Tagovailoa in the past game, and it has paid off this season. Through week 9, Achane has 420 yards rushing on 93 carries with 3 rushing touchdowns, along with 37 receptions for 302 yards and 3 receiving TDs. Entering week 10, he has the 4th most receiving yards among NFL running backs and has been Tagovailoa's most targeted player this season at 37. 3 more targets than Tyreek Hill. When it comes to catching the football, it's like me running the football. That's how I think of it, Achane said. The running back can get the thrown ball too, especially in this offense, so it is something I pride myself in. So that's basically what this game's about tonight. It's been a low-scoring first half, and right now it's 16-6 Rams. Dolphins, 17-6 Dolphins, Third quarter, 3:19 to go. 2nd and 9 at the Miami 38. Now the Rams have the ball. And I'm going to go over the first half with you right now. And the first part of the third quarter. Oh my God. There we go. I'm sorry about that. First quarter, the Dolphins scored their first touchdown of the game. Washington right in for the 18-yard touchdown. Jason Sanders' extra point is good, and it's 7-0 Dolphins. The Rams had the punt. They're going 3 now, 3 plays, 7 yards. The Dolphins had the punt after going three and out, 3 plays, no yards. Then the Rams had the punt after going three and out, 3 plays and -9 yards. Then the Dolphins had the punt after going three and out, 6 plays, 16 yards. And the Rams had an interception. A second attempt at it was a 3rd and 7 at the Rams 49. And Matthew Stafford pass short middle intended for Robinson, intercepted by Walker at the Miami 41. Walker to the Miami 46 for 5 yards. And then the Dolphins tried to score a touchdown, but they had to settle for a field goal. They take it the field goal range, 4-3 at the Rams 32. Jason Sanders' 52-yard field goal attempt is good. 10-0 Dolphins at the end of the first quarter. And now in the second quarter, the Rams had the punt after going three and out, 5 plays, 10 yards. Excuse me. The Dolphins had an interception. It was a 2-14 at the Miami 32. Tua Tagovailoa's pass short middle intended for Waddle, intercepted by Roseboom at the Miami 44. Roseboom pushed out of bounds to Miami for 30 yards. And a penalty on Tagovailoa on L.A. B. Fiske illegal blindside block, 15 yards for us at the Miami 28. Then there was a fumble. The Rams had a fumble. 1st and 10 at the Miami 43. Williams left guard to Miami for the Miami 39 for 4 yards. Walker and fumbles. Dehan touched out of bounds at the Miami 40, recovered by Fuller at the Miami 38 to the Miami 39 for 1 yard. Then the Dolphins fumbled. Then it was 3rd and 13 at the Rams 48. Tua Tagovailoa sacked at the Miami 38 for -10 yards. Verse fumbles, and it was recovered by Verse at the Miami 36. And then the Rams tried to score a touchdown, but could not do it. They had to settle for a field goal. 4th and 4 at the Miami 16. Carter's 34-yard field goal is good, and it was 10-3 Rams. Then the Dolphins had the punt after going three and out, 5 plays, 10 yards. And then the Rams had to try to score a touchdown again. They couldn't do it. It was a 4th and 3 at the Miami 37. Carter's 55-yard field goal attempt is good. It was 10-6 at halftime. And then the third quarter, the Rams had to set up for a field goal. Weren't able to score a touchdown. 4th and 21 at the Miami 39. Carter's 57-yard field goal attempt is no good. Went wide right. And it was still 10-6 ball game. It was still 10-6. Then the Dolphins scored their second touchdown of the game. Tua Tagovailoa pass short left to Tyreek Hill for the 1-yard touchdown. And then the extra point is by Jason Sanders is good. 17-6. And now the Rams have the ball. It was a 3rd and 7 at the Miami 23. Matthew Stafford sacked at the Miami 35 for -12 yards, and that is where we stand right now. And it's 4th and 19 at the Miami 35, and the Rams have the ball. So so we'll have to see. It's now in the fourth quarter with 15 minutes just getting underway. So we'll see if Miami can hold on to get the victory, or can the Rams rally and can they get the win and go on and get the win? So because I have the Rams for this one, I am 8-4. My brother-in-law is 5-7. So I'm going to go on and win the picks, and I can have a chance to be 10-4 if I can get the win. If I can get the Rams to win this game, if the Rams can come away with the win. And the Cavs have done it. They are 12-0 now, still undefeated. They beat the Chicago Bulls 119-113 at the United Center in Chicago tonight. And Donovan Mitchell led the way for the Cavs, 36 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. Darius Garland, 17 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. Evan Mobley, 15 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists. Darius LeVert, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. And Ty Jerome, 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists. So there were, and Georges Niang, 12 points, 5 rebounds. 6 Cavs players in double figures tonight. And boy, another one. This undefeated streak continues. The Bulls were up by 1 at the end of the first quarter, 35-34. And then the Cavs were up 66 by 1 at halftime. And then it was tied at 95 at the end of the third quarter. It was tied. And then the Cavs just went on to win it from there. So, they are off tomorrow, but they'll be back in action on Wednesday when they go to Philly to play the 76ers. So we'll see if they can go to 13-0. I want to just do a little NBA news. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports One. Oh, the Rams just kicked another field goal. It was Evans kicks 65 yards from Miami, from the LA 35 to the end zone. And they kicked a field goal. It was it's now 17-9 Dolphins. Now, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Monday Night Football update show. I'll be back with the Monday Night Football postgame show on Scott Sports 101 once the game between the Dolphins and Rams has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.